Right, we'll go on to some Arsenal transfer news and some of the rumours. Big one who's just gone to Fulham, scored on his debut.
Yep.
Emile Smith Rowe. You happy that he left?
Happy for him. He needed to go. You know, as good as a player he was, Arsenal's again trying to compete with City, and therefore the levels needed to break into the team are so high. And in the last couple of seasons, he hasn't really been heavily involved. So he needed to go from his own perspective to progress his career. You know, at 24, you can't just keep being on the bench. So from his perspective, it's a good move. It's another Prem team. It's in London. You know, Fulham have looked better in the last couple of seasons. It's not like, I'd like to think he's not going to a team that's going to struggle. I think they should be all right. So from his perspective, fantastic. From Arsenal's perspective, again, how much did they sell him for in the end? 35?
35, yeah. 35. Might have been 25. Was it 25 or 35?
I think it was 35,
yeah.
Which I think it was like a club record or something like that. Again, that's extra funds for the club for a player that probably won't be heavily involved. I know we need to keep, it's important to have a big squad and a competitive squad, but I don't think you want players that need to go, a player that's wanting to go and needing to go for his own career. There's no point keeping those kind of players around, because it just creates a poor dynamic. You need everyone competing, knowing that they're genuinely in with a chance of playing and pulling along the right direction. Yeah,
I think he's like you said, he needed to go for his career. It's a shame though, because he obviously struggled with injuries.
Yeah,
right?
that's
and his style of play as well. You need to be a regular in the team, playing consistent football, and a lot of it to really get the best out of your potential and get everything you can out. You can tell when he's come in, he's been a bit unlucky, because when he has come back in and been available, there's always been someone firing in his position, on fire, Xhaka, Declan Rice. So he's got no chance really, and he's not the type of player that can come on for 20 minutes and really make something happen when it's his first game back from injury. Some players can do that, wingers, striker. I just don't think he can.
Yeah, I agree.
And it wouldn't surprise me now if he goes into a team like Fulham, like he has, plays regular football, confidence skyrockets, and then Arsenal try and buy him back for 50, 60 million, double the price.
Without a doubt, the ability is there. He is an Arsenal level footballer. There's no question about that. It's just timing, and like you said, injuries have been his real killer, and therefore he wasn't really able to get a run of games. But it's not selling him because he's not good enough and he's never gonna make it as a top Premier League player. No, I expect him to go there, get a run of games, get some confidence, and really start looking like a top player. And like you said, 2-3 years down the line, it could be a question where we're trying to get him back, or definitely another top end club is trying to sign him.
Yeah, 100%.
If he can stay fit and healthy.
Yeah, that's the key. He needs to stay fit. He needs to have a whole season of playing football. It takes that long to really get the best out of what you can offer. It does take a while. Yeah. And
he's not played a lot of football. No. And as much as he's got the talent and the ability, you need those match minutes to develop as a player as a whole. Your tactical side of the game, to start learning, what parts you really excel at and stuff. It's not all talent sometimes on a match day. Sometimes it's about having that experience, the know-how of what to do to win a game, and you need minutes for that. You can't just rely on a couple of minutes here and there, or training ground experience. So yeah, if he stays fit, he could be serious player in the next couple of seasons.
Yeah, and it will help his mental, be it knowing that he's sort of at a club that value him as one of the top dogs. Basically,
you need that, man.
Yeah.
You need to feel like coming into a weekend, this club needs me to go and win a game. I'm not just here as a bit part player and then doing the extra runs at the end of a game every week. It kills you.
Who do you think should follow him out? Obviously, there's Nketiah and Reece Nelson are rumoured. I'm not sure if any of them are over the line yet, but who do you reckon? Do you think it's a similar situation with both of them?
It's a very similar but different. I think out of all of those, Eddie's been the closest to basically making it Arsenal and being a key player, because he has started in big games. He's had run of games. He's scored big goals for Arsenal in the last couple of seasons. I think the difficulty he has is he's competing for the number 9 position, and for a club that wants to win the Prem, win the Champions League, people want to see, big names. People want to see someone that can go in the same bracket as an Erling Haaland. And, I think Eddie's got everything to become a top striker. The issue is, it's Arsenal we're talking about, like the team again that's trying to compete at the top end. And if he, again, because of his age, because of the time of his career he's at, is he going to be given the minutes he needs to fulfill that potential? Probably not. It would probably be another season where he plays some games and he scores some goals, but then he spends a long time out. So I'd think for his sake, the best decision would be to move on. The issue is Arsenal value him so highly because of what he's done.
But do we? If you had the price, I'm shocked at the prices he's going for, though.
But
we'll be going for a lot more.
Okay, there you go. But the issue is, it's so difficult, and this is where business and politics gets involved in football, because on paper it'd be good for him to go and progress his career, and Arsenal use funds to sign another striker. Given the fact that there's questions about should we go and sign someone that's actually going to start every week and be the main striker. But then the issue is, because of the minutes he got back in the last season, he hardly played and stuff like that. People are going to use that to bring his price down in terms of 100%. What they want to buy him for. And then it becomes an issue. It's like, because the prices Marseille were throwing around were ridiculous. But
it seems like that whenever Arsenal sell a player, they
can't really get much.
We're known as that club now that just don't sell. That might be our record selling, 35 mil.
I think that was a record, or equaled it, or something like that, which is not much.
I think it's a slightly different situation to Smith Rowe as well, where I feel like he's had a bit more of a chance. Don't get me wrong, you still need more games.
You need more than he has, but he's been involved.
He's had 3, 4, 5 period,
a couple of times,
and then it's just not been as consistent as we need it. So again, he might be able to get that at another club. I was shocked at Marseille if he does end up going there, because I just don't see any real benefit from it. For me, it's like, I see a little bit, but there's a lot of better options. I feel like it's the 4th, 5th most sought after league.
The thing is, it's difficult as a striker.
It's a dead league, really, isn't it?
I hear what you're saying. It's just difficult as a striker because he's going to be judged on goals, right? You see, if Smith Rowe goes to Fulham, he's going to be judged more on performances than goals and assists.
Yeah.
If Eddie goes to a Fulham, I don't know how they're going to do this season, but let's say they finish bottom half, but not it's very difficult to get into double figures in a team like that. Yeah. I think as a striker, I would prefer to go to a top-end European team, even if the league's not as exciting, knowing that I'm probably going to push for 20 goals.
Because the goals makes noise.
Yeah. You look at the strikers, we're linked to Gyökeres, who's playing in Portugal.
Yeah.
It's not one of the best leagues it's obviously a good league, but it's not like top 3 leagues in Europe, but you're linked to him purely because the goals make the noise, not because of the league he's playing in. So I hear why Eddie could be attracted to a Marseille over just any random Prem team, because he could go to another Prem team, but it's if you're not going to go to a top 10 team.
Could he have though? Did he have offers?
I don't know, but we don't know what's happening, but there'd definitely be Prem teams interested, but it's the price that makes it a problem. He's Prem proven, but it's very difficult as a striker. I think you've got to pick wisely. If you go to a team that are going to be fighting, you're hardly going to get goals, and then before you know it, it looks like you're actually not that good.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Clubs and clubs recruitment will look for goals in, like you said, in a top European league, and you're going to get that, like you said, from a higher team. So do you reckon, let's say he gets 20 goals in Marseille that would be more valued than getting, 10 goals for Fulham?
It's very difficult, because the value he'd get as a player in terms of his development would probably be bigger at Fulham, because then he'd have had a whole season in a Prem team where he's learnt from that. But the noise, it wouldn't make much noise. Whereas you go and get 20 goals at Marseille, every club in Europe's looking all of a sudden.
They are looking, but in my eyes, I still think you're playing in that league. I know that's a very naive way to look at it, but I know what you mean. The clubs are looking,
because again, I can talk about Gyökeres is one of the most in-demand strikers right now, who was playing in the Champ the year before, so he's not even touched the Prem. He was playing in the Champ, done well in the Champ, went to Portugal, done well there, and all of a sudden all the top teams in Europe are looking at him. So I get what you're saying, because
I do
it's,
get it
it's
from that
natural
side,
to
though,
look and say, okay, but he's only done it in that league, 100%. But it definitely boosts your stock, because people know that goal scorers are goal scorers. And if you prove that you can get 20 goals in a
it's how we got Lacazette, really, isn't it?
I was going to say that we've even signed players in the same manner. Lacazette, even Pepe, the year we signed him, obviously not a striker, but he got like 14, 15 goals in France, and all of a sudden we go and spend 72 million on him.
Yeah.
Like, for his sake, I think it would be smarter to look at a club like that where he's going to play and will score goals, and then his stock goes all the way up.
Yeah, no, I agree. I do see it from that point of view. What about Reece Nelson? Because Reece Nelson, like, I actually played against him all the way through the academies.
Yeah.
And he was always known as, he was the guy. Within the academies, there was him and a couple others, but he was top.
Of course.
And I remember he made his Arsenal debut like 17 or whatever
Very
it was.
young, with Wenger.
And he, like, everyone after the games, after his first couple of games, was like, wow, he's the real deal. Like, I mean, there were shouts of like similarities to Neymar and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, he was that guy.
And he is. Do you know what I mean? He's a top player.
That's what I mean. Like, he is, and he went on a couple loans to Germany. Did decent, I think, for one of them. Didn't do as good for another, and then he's come back in. And then it's, to me now, it's a similar situation to Smith Rowe.
It's a very
injuries,
similar situation.
Not able to get in the team. But I think if he goes to a Leicester, I think was a shout.
Yeah.
If he goes to a Leicester and gets a run of games, like a consistent 90 minutes for the season, I'm telling you now, he will be like one of the most sought after wingers in the world, I think.
Absolutely.
He's so good, man.
Absolutely.
He's so good.
I think, again, similar to Smith Rowe, for his own career, it's time to go, because he's not going to get that run of games at Arsenal that he's after. He might get a game here, a game there, but, like, again, the type of players they are, they need to be in a team consistently that's playing to their strengths week in, week out for them to flourish. And like you said, if he goes to a Leicester or another Prem team, he will start to cook, no doubt about that, and then he'd be sought after. And it's just a shame, because
it is, man.
Like you said, through the ranks, him, Smith Rowe, these guys were always talked about, and they did break into the Arsenal first team. But Arsenal under Arteta took another trajectory now and have gone, rather than just being a decent Prem team that finishes 4th and 5th. If Arsenal was still that team, these guys would be playing.
Yeah.
But they almost outgrew that, outgrew them. And now it's so hard to break in as a young player that's trying to make your way in the game. So again, I think it would benefit him to find another team. And the difference again with someone like Eddie is, like I said, him, Smith Rowe, they won't be judged so much on goals and assists, more impact. If they can impact a game in bursts, that will make noise. So for him, maybe going to a bottom end Prem team will be very beneficial for him, because he would still be able to do what he does. So probably should look to offload players like that as well. Yeah,
I agree. I hope he does go, and I hope he gets a good run of games. And I could see us again looking to buy him back 3 years down the line for like double the price.
Another one.
But in terms of players we need to bring in, obviously we've brought, or who you think we should bring in, we've brought in that Calafiori, I think his name is.
Yeah.
Sort of like centre back, left back. Do you think we need to strengthen elsewhere? I mean, the season starts in a week's time.
Yeah.
For me, we do. We still need to get a striker for myself. And I'd like a centre mid. I know we're linked with Marino. I don't know a lot about him. He doesn't seem like a starter. He seems sort of like a similar level to a Vieira or something like that. Doesn't seem like, to me, he doesn't excite me. Yeah. Calafiori, I can see him doing well, because to me he's got the defensive like capabilities of like Tomiyasu, Kiwior. But he can also do the rolling inside, the inverted fullback better than them, from what I've heard and the little I've seen. So I'm excited about him, but the rest of it, I thought we'd be a bit busier.
Yeah, we haven't made a lot of noise. We signed him, and there hasn't been. There's obviously rumours and talks, but nothing advanced yet. I don't think we need loads of. That's the thing. I don't think we needed to have a busy transfer window. I think it's just key areas. I think we need to bring in a striker, but like not just any striker, someone that is, one of the best in Europe.
Any on your mind? Any specific?
It's difficult, right? Because you can just throw out names, but it's like, how realistic is it? Is it within the budget, whatever? But we've spoken about this before. I think someone like Alexander Isak.
Yeah, he's
Like,
perfect for Arsenal, man. But I don't know what his situation is.
Exactly. I saw the other day that like there's been like Newcastle have dropped his price tag or whatever. I don't know what the situation is, and that's why it's hard for us to just say who we should go and get. But someone like that, I think, would suit Arsenal to a T. Guaranteed goals. You know, he's hit the 20 mark or something like that, like already. So he's proven. He's young, like he's 24, something like that. So again, he's not like, he will get better. His style of play, like he can drop in, link up, but also he can get in behind. He can definitely finish. I think he can even play on the left if needed.
Yeah,
he's that kind of versatile. Yeah, so I think someone like him would be perfect, but he's not the only one. There's obviously strikers around Europe that can come in and definitely improve Arsenal's team.
Yeah, like you said, like we've got down here, Osimhen can definitely be a shout. I'm heard he's very sought after for a lot of other clubs as well. Solanke was one I would have liked. I think
that's not a bad one.
I think he's going Tottenham though, isn't he? Like, I think he's like that's the closest club to getting him over the line. So, but that would be a shame because I do think he would be able to. He wouldn't be too. You wouldn't have to break the bank. I think they're like 50 mil they're paying for him, Tottenham.
I mean, if we didn't get him, then I'd hope we got someone better that would make it worth losing him out to Tottenham. Like, if let's say we went and got an Isak or something, then I wouldn't be complaining. But let's say we just didn't get a striker and then he's just gone to Spurs, I would say that could be a missed out opportunity.
If we get like an Isak, we are winning the league.
This is why
I'd be confident that
this is why I think we should just go and do it, because let's say you got an Isak on top of last season, what's to stop us?
No,
realistically, like, I don't know. I rate him so highly because he's not even just a goal scorer. Like, he's an all-round top footballer, plus goals. So it's like he's going to improve the way we play, plus be someone that give him half a chance. It's hitting the back of the net. I don't think we had that player last season. That's the only thing. We didn't have someone that is like... Yeah. Everyone chipped in with goals, which is why we scored the most goals. But did you have someone that, if a game's tight, you're looking at and saying, okay, let's give him half a chance, and he's scoring for us? We didn't have that.
Our most clinical finisher. Yeah, go on.
You need those in the cups like the Champions League as well, because we was never like the way we were scoring goals past teams in the league, for example. You're never going to do that in the Champions League. You get a buy-in, it's not going to be an all-open game where you create loads of chances and like no.
You need high quality. Yeah,
the ball's going to drop in the box, and you need someone to do something out of nowhere. And we didn't have that player where you turn around to and say, you know, he's that guy. So that's why a lot of people want to see a striker come in. Yeah,
our most ruthless finisher, like that guy we'd probably look to the most, would be Saka, and he's a winger really. So that just shows that we do need it. You can't just keep. I know City done it one year and they won the league, but you can't always look to sort of like everyone just to chip in a little bit. You do want to have that. It just helps almost the feeling and the confidence within the team as well, doesn't it? Regardless of whether they actually produce it.
The fact that City did that, but then went to sign Haaland, tells you that even they knew that we did it. But if we want to go to the next level, you got to go and sign someone like that. So.
But we do. People forget we do have like. I mean, Jesus, when he remember his first season when he's like fully fit and played loads of games, he's a joke.
He's a joke. It's just the issue with him is we can't. Can you bet on him being fit all season? No. Yeah. If he can stay fit, then realistically you wouldn't even need a striker.
No, we wouldn't.
Because I know he's got questions about how clinical he can be and whatever. But if he stayed fit, he'd get to good numbers by the end of a season. Like the problem he has is he never plays 38 games or 35 games. Or if he played 35 games. He gets 20. You at 18 and 20. Yeah. But
when he's injured, he comes back in, not playing the striker, floats about, does all this.
And then you can't get up and running. So that's the issue with him. And he's, 2 seasons now? He's had not just one injury each season, probably like 3-4 per season. Yeah. So it's like...
What's wrong with him, man? What's he doing?
I mean, if he can get fit, great. But like I said earlier in this, it's about guaranteeing or giving yourself the best chance of winning the Premier League. Yeah. And to give yourself the best chance, you've got to go in and sometimes break the bank. And if you get like an Isak or someone, it doesn't mean Jesus is all of a sudden not part of your plans. Yeah. We're talking about squad depth. You're going to need all of these players.